we wanted a lot of shit. If you want a lot of shit, get to it. Get to work.
Wasn't the worst comeback performance I've ever seen. I wasn't totally impressed, but I wasn't disappointed.
I think I'm out on the whole Brian Garcia hype train.
Ah, damn. Look. Welcome back to another episode of Chin Checkers. Y'all already know who it is. Mr. Get That Work, Hawk Von Dane. We are here. And I was not super impressed by Garcia's performance, but he got the job done. He closed the show. We see him try to do a shoulder roll, which wasn't great. It wasn't great at all, but it was his first time doing it in a professional bout. He was staying in the pocket when he wasn't running around boxing. But like I said, he got the job done. I like him as a fighter. He's calling out Rolly, which I'll talk on Rolly in a little bit, but salute to Rolly because he made himself into a bad guy and with all his antics, and now he got a belt, so everybody's calling him out. But Garcia, I thought he did okay. It was a good comeback fight. Wasn't the worst comeback performance I've ever seen. I wasn't totally impressed, but I wasn't disappointed.
So what came to me real quick was Dan Goosen after the fight saying you don't really train Ryan Garcia. It's like a partnership type of thing. You kind of let him do what he want to do. Nah, man, that's not the way how it works, bro. No. You see some flaws in someone. Imagine a mechanic doing some shit like that. Imagine you taking your car to the mechanic and going, hey, I think this noise is coming from here. And the mechanic's like, all right, we work on it together. Like, no, what the fuck? I'm paying you money to fix this shit. What do you see? If you were going against me, what are the flaws you would pick out? And immediately I was wondering, did Derek James teach him that shoulder roll? Is that where this is coming from?
This is where Ryan doesn't want to be.
You were using a bit more of a shoulder roll. Is that something that you got from Derek?
Derek told me never to do that. He's like, don't do that shit. You ain't Mayweather.
Oh no, he said no. He said that in the post interview. He said Derek James, he said he done that in sparring, and Derek James was like, hey, never do that shit again. You ain't Mayweather. But he wanted to try. He wanted to, he wanted to try it, and then he got back to doing what he do. So, you're not going to get better if you don't try. So,
Yeah, you're not going to get better if you don't try. But you don't try it during the fight. You try it during sparring. And if it's not working in sparring, it's not for you. It's not your style. And not only did he look ridiculous, had Duarte, whatever his name is, had he had the right game plan, which he kind of did it sometimes, fire a straight right to the lower body, step aside, and then fire a hook, and you're completely out of harm's way because he was so leaned in the other direction.
Yeah.
And he's not unnaturally deep. We never spoke about defense when it came to Ryan Garcia. He's offensively gifted, very fast hands, very good power. I'm not sure if I'm seeing any improvement in terms of boxing from him. I don't see him setting up punches other than that hook.
I mean, I see where you're coming from. He was fighting a guy who was a tough customer. He had a pretty good chin. I think, like I said.
He had a pretty good chin, but did he have anything more than that? Was he doing a crazy head movement?
I mean, he was rugged. He obviously had some power. You could tell, like, he looked like a guy that had power. He just looked like a motherfucker that had power. You know what I'm saying?
So the answer was no.
Nah, man. He looked like a guy that was tough. And, you had to break him down. I didn't mind the shoulder roll if he would have. No. If he would have threw more uppercuts and had better distancing. Again, it's not something that he usually does. But he didn't throw enough uppercuts. I think he was trying to get the uppercut. He tried to throw it a couple of times. Wasn't great, but he tried it. It's just the distance thing. And honestly, like you always bring up, I think it's his height. I think, him, he's, he keeps his head up tall. So him keeping his head up there and him being tall, I don't think that style is for him. He tried it, wasn't the worst, definitely wasn't great. But, he was in there with a tough guy. But he stopped him. He was in there with a tough guy and he stopped him.
But again, you didn't see much other than toughness. It's not like the guy was hitting him with wild, crazy body movement, hitting him with angles. He was right there.
No, I agree. But on the other end of the spectrum, we have somebody who claims to be the best in boxing right now, the best up-and-coming guy, Shakur, with more skills, better at the shoulder roll, better distancing, and he didn't stop Edwin. He didn't stop Nakatina. He fought kind of like, soft. So that's why I don't want to criticize, Garcia too much.
100%. Because last week we did an episode on Shakur, and the only reason the people didn't see it is because I didn't get a chance to edit it. So sorry for that.
Nah.
Fucking brain came out. I'm glad I didn't put it out because I was ripping him. Oh my God, was I thrashing him. I think I'd have came off as such a hater. People already think I'm a hater. I was shitting on Shakur, and I'm going to continue to do it because he's more gifted. He's more intelligent. He has all the tools, but it's the mindset. And I want to shift talking about Ryan Garcia real quick. Where do you think his mindset is at? Because to me, when he was talking shit about De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins, it kind of sounded like a bunch of excuses. Like, take ownership of whatever happened. Right. Whether it be the rehydration clause, people not being in your corner at the end of the fight. It almost seemed like he was trying to look for scapegoats. I don't know how it came off to you.
It was a little bit diva-ish. I'll say that. But, maybe he does have some points. Maybe he doesn't feel like his career is, going in the direction that he wants to go, based upon, whatever their influence or their help. But we talk about fighters and promoters, especially promoters who used to be fighters. That type of relationship always doesn't, go well. We've seen that with Canelo and Oscar. We've seen that with Floyd and Tank. Sometimes, the promoter, when he used to be a fighter, has just a, I guess a path that he wants you to go or direction. And you being the fighter in that moment, you probably have a different direction. So sometimes, it's kind of a shaky relationship. But again, he went in there, he got the job done, and he's calling out Rolly. So, and that's
interesting.
I want to say this. Shout out to Rolly. Because even though I think, he's like a half a tard, I mean, he played the bad guy. He did all the antics and everything. And he talked so much shit. He got a fight with Tank. And from now he has a name. He has a name. He has a belt that, people kind of joke around that maybe he didn't deserve or whatever. He didn't win the fight. But he has a belt. He has a name. And now people are calling him out. So shout out to him.
I talk about this shit all the time. If you're going to be boring in the ring, Shakur, you better be really exciting outside the ring. And the thing is, sometimes your skills, again, like Shakur, you don't really need to sell yourself too much outside the ring. The thing with Rolly, he's like a weird hybrid of slightly exciting and crazy entertaining outside the ring. So whether you like him or not, he kind of draws you into the story of boxing. Damn, I kind of want to watch him get knocked out, or this fucking guy's entertaining.
Right. Absolutely.
Another guy that was very similar, and I thought he was fighting tonight, but he turned out he wasn't, was Adrian Broner. But I think Rolly has taken the Adrian Broner thing, but added a little more flavor to it because he's a little more exciting in the ring. Technically, he's awful, but I think that makes a super interesting fight because I don't think Ryan Garcia is that technically perfect. Actually, I think he's technically horrible. Shoulder roll, whatever you want to call it. I think the flawness will bring out a very explosive fight.
Yeah. I gotta give it, man. Most impressive performance. You gotta give it to Floyd Sheffield, that fight. He fought against Ricardo Lopez. God damn. Look. When I tell you, I'm sitting on the couch with my girl. I'm not even exaggerating. Sitting on the couch with my girl. What made it funny was the commentators were like, Lopez says that this is going to be his toughest fight. Mark his words. Floyd is going to really feel him. Moments later, he gets knocked down. Moments later, right? He gets up. My girl looks, puts her head back down. Seconds later, he gets knocked down again. My girl's like, was that the same knockdown? Or I said, he got knocked down 4 times in the first round. And he said he was going to be this dude's toughest opponent. Yet I started dying. I was just like, this got to be a joke, bro. Like, this got to be some type of comic sketch or something. Like, this shit is wild, bro. It's wild, man. And shout out to he's a young guy. Shout out to him, man. He's on the rise. He's looking good. I think Oscar De La Hoya is really happy about this young kid right in here. He's looking good.
We tried to get him on the show. Shout out. I believe Kid Austin's his nickname or something like that.
Yeah.
We've been following him for a while, so shout out to him, man. I think I'm out on the whole Ryan Garcia hype train because I think I'm out. And most of the time when we on here and we're bashing someone or we're talking about anyone or breaking them down, we're really splitting hairs amongst the elite fighters or the up-and-coming prospects. So you're measuring greats against other greats, goods against other goods. So it's hard to really judge, right? When on his young trajectory of the younger part of Ryan Garcia's career, he was ascending up more.
Right.
And you would expect that some adjustments would be made. The tougher you get in with competition, this floor was too exposed, let's work on this.
Yeah.
Little by little, as he started ascending and we saw more and more flaws, it was no fixing or adjusting. And I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't see it. And then it felt like the attitude shifted in almost like playing a victim and trying to not take responsibility for those flaws.
Yeah.
You can't call out promoters and they don't have my best interest if you don't have your best interest. And I just think that I don't hear enough ownership. I'm all for the Ryan Garcia train. I think against another top tier opponent, Tio, he'll get knocked out again. Maybe he'll do well against a Devin Haney because of the fact that Haney doesn't have enough pop.
Right.
That's it. But I'm completely out when it comes to Ryan Garcia. Completely. I'm done. I don't want to bash him too much, but I'm out.